Hi Aquarius, welcome to your March 2022 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. Okay, what I would say first and foremost is that if you have a situation at work where you feel like maybe you have hidden enemies, something isn't right, then there could be some kind of disclosure. Oh yeah, and actually, in March, astrologically, there's going to be a full moon in Virgo, a late degree of Virgo, and that's happening on the 18th of the month, and that is your 6th house of health and work. So full moon can bring out secrets, and we have this moon here. I'll get to that in a minute. The heart of the matter is the Five of Swords, and I often think of the Five of Swords as treacherous with coworkers because of those people in the background. And sometimes, the person, this can be a card of the empty victory, of winning the battle but losing the war. And that's if, you're unscrupulous and you're like Machiavellian. If you have Pluto in the 6th house or Mars in the 6th house, maybe there's some of that going on. I'm not going to accuse an Aquarius person of being like that, because usually you want to play well with others. You believe in the collective, the group dynamic. So it's not like you are, that you believe in being selfish or anything like that. But the thing that can happen, I think, is more likely is that you are experiencing this yourself. And of course, life being what it is, this is not an uncommon thing. And as far as I'm concerned, it's more times than not because other people are threatened by you. Either you're, very intelligent, which you tend to be, you're very popular, good at what you do, and this creates animosity with somebody who's like, mailing it in. Maybe they just kind of were there longer than you, and they don't have a good work ethic, and you are very on point, and they feel like you're showing them up. That's how I see it's more likely something like that. And if you're in that situation, first of all, you have to realize that's a toxic situation. But nobody has a right to push you out. If you like, the company, the job you're in, they don't have the right to do that. But if you don't have any recourse, if you can't really put your finger on something, then you may feel like it's one of those situations where you would have to know for sure that somebody was actually doing something. And that might be difficult. In the past position, we have the Chariot card, and this is a card of victory. And maybe, somebody having success with a lot of obstacles in front of them, a lot of drama or a lot of distractions. So if you have triumphed over something and now it's bringing out the haters, be aware of that. Don't, sometimes people give others too much credit, and they don't realize that because maybe you would never do that to somebody else, and yet they're doing it to you. So be able to realize that. It doesn't mean you have to hate that person or those people, but understand that this kind of thing does happen so that you are prepared, whatever that means. Because if you do have people working against you, then that can lead to some kind of problem down the line. down the road. And not to, make you paranoid or something like that, but just kind of being pragmatic. The higher message is the Eight of Pentacles. You do you. Don't, whatever is going on around you, like the Chariot, continue to do a good job. Even if the boss is, joining in, don't allow anyone to adversely affect you to the point where you would not do as good a job as you should, because eventually you will be able to, triumph over something, if you persevere. And even if the worst case scenario is that you end up quitting a job, you knew that nobody dragged you down, that you did this on your own, and you did what you're supposed to do. What crosses you? Two of Wands. This is a card of, being at a crossroads. Sometimes it can be two different careers, because the Wands can relate to career matters. You see that there's a gloved hand and there's a bare hand, so somebody else may factor into your decision making. You may see that there's something going on that the Five of Swords represents that is like the, what's the expression? It's kind of like, I can't think of the expression that I'm looking for, but like it's kind of telling you what things are like now. And what I mean by that is, sometimes if you're working in a particular profession, like let's say the media, if you're working in the media, and it used to be very, serious, full of integrity, and over time, because the viewership has eroded, they've become more of a tabloid, or more just entertainment based, or gossip oriented, and you just despise that, and you don't want to be a part of that. It's more sensational and things like that. Then you have to face the fact of what is going on. And so that, and in a way, because the Two of Wands is like it's almost like a false choice. It's like you're saying, gee, I wonder if I should stay here or do something else, when you know in your heart that the industry has changed too much. Like maybe, some other industry, healthcare, something that you have been doing that it's going in the direction that you don't like. Or education. that was what I was training in. And I realized, and it just like, it was a real hard lesson to admit, but it was like, no, what I fantasized about as a child that education represented is no longer the reality. And that's just the truth. And when you accept that, it's no longer a false choice. You're saying, I can't do it. It's not like, should I do this or should I do that? I know I'm not going to do that. So, I'm going to keep looking, or I'm going to choose something else that I am interested in. And by the way, that's why I'm saying this kind of behavior can really thrive when there's negative energy with the industry itself as well. What is coming in, like, excessive competition, and just like, it's just not valuing integrity. What's coming in is a moon card. As I stated, this can be a timing card. It can be, the full moon can represent, finding something out. This can be about deception, but of course it can be about finding out about deception. It can be about self-delusion. So lying to yourself about something, and, having to admit to yourself that you, or you know, admitting to yourself that something isn't the way that you thought it was. If, you know, if the above cards, you know, on the top row have to do with a personal relationship, you may be dealing with a love relationship with somebody that is not on the up and up. And maybe this is a travel, a situation like a long distance relationship with the Chariot or a Cancer individual. In that situation, you may be involved with somebody who is involved with somebody else, and that could come out. And who knows? Maybe you have been fooling yourself, that there's a part of you that knows that already. The higher message in that case, the Eight of Pentacles, is that you cannot do all the fixing in the relationship and do the hard work. It takes two. And you might just feel like if you devote yourself to making the relationship work, it's going to work. And that other person has to invest in it as well. The outcome is the King of Pentacles. This is a very good card for somebody stepping into their power financially, having that authority. Of course, this could also be a boss who is, especially in the financial arena, or a person in like a, what do they call them? Well, a stockbroker, but anybody like an investment bank or somebody like that. If you need advice about something financial, that could be the person that you're going to. But even just in terms of yourself, it bodes well for financial matters, that you're the boss, you know, of your own endeavors on a practical level. And also that you know what's best for you. This can also involve an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn individual, that maybe this is more of a grounded individual and you've been involved with somebody who is doesn't tell the truth, is unreliable. The Five of Swords, it might be a an air sign like you, an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. I don't. I was going to say Gemini maybe, but that would show prejudice against Geminis in terms of reliability. But in any case, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated, Aquarius. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.